As a child, I brought out
about people's knowledge about the Holocaust. And my question what do you know about the Holocaust?
I guess I know a lot because I've got Jewish family.
The dad, when we emptied out the house, all these letters, we learned such a lot about his family, I've got...
Like my grandfather, he was a soldier in the war. He was in Russia, he was in France. I'm sure
meetings with actual survivors or people who have lived through history.
From lots of different places, because it's always there. You don't look for it, it finds you. I mean, there are museums like this. This is a museum, but books, history, novels.
I think I'm not as knowledgeable as everybody, but I think I have more knowledge than the average person.
I know who caused it. I know when it happened.
Innocent people were killed for their religion back during the war.
I go to the internet. The internet covers it fairly well, and that's where I've got most of my information from.
About the show, I don't know very much. I know it was built in the 50s and it's been renovated a couple of times since then.
Well, the interest of justice is an expression to say that there are certain truths that has to be uncovered, and that is justice. It's a process of finding truth.
Look, if you really want to find something, you'll find it. So
Google would probably be the first place I would go, honestly.
And you can read what you're interested in. So there's a lot of information there. Of course, you get in school you get very good education.
If I want to go into more depth, I go onto like national library sites and look into archives and
information we have here is very specified on my topic, so I can use different sources.
Well, it's something I think Johan Huizinga described when he spoke about historical sensation.
There was a shift in the U.S. Among the Jewish community that this wasn't something to put behind you or be ashamed of, but something that the next generation should learn about in order to prevent it from happening again.
Since I read Anne Frank, actually, I've always taken the initiative to learn about it myself.
It's not very often because most of them have died already. And that is interesting to see how the next generation is dealing with it.
We always talk about it. I was living in Israel for the past 5 months, so I learned a lot about...
He was afraid. He was afraid for the whole country and for the world, and he can't do anything.
How one group of individuals can persecute and have a goal of eliminating another population.
Because you see, it doesn't become words on a page, it doesn't become sterilized. The type, the print, the font, all those things sterilize things and they remove it from the emotion. And it becomes easier to distance yourself from it. And I think talking with people makes you feel more in touch, and it's very real.
If we don't know, how can we prevent it from happening again?
Know that these kind of things are horrible things that must stop, even though we still kind of repeat them, or let them repeat them.
They know and they saw it, and you never would find it in books.
You can already see the source of the children, and you don't need to read anything. You just need to go there and you feel really...
How did that whole mentality develop, and how could you get the whole nation basically crazy enough to...
Impact on you. And also I tell to our children, look to the pictures and take it in your mind.
Just making it more personal was a lot different for me because, again, I'm Canadian, we learn about it in history class, but having met people who went through these things that you read about, that you learn about all the time, was just, it hits closer to home, I guess.
I knew more about the war from Life magazine.
Various recordings of films, this makes it far more concrete and tangible. Sobibor or something like that with our hockey team.
You can also check, you tell the story to friends, I read this, what do you think about it? Is that, and some say, yeah, that's completely...
I mean, you see all of these names. It's very affecting.
I would probably just Google maybe Holocaust or different museums that exist. I would look up different ghettos that I've known about, or look up concentration camps. I might Google concentration camp photos. Sometimes I'll get a name of someone who was a key player, and that will lead me down a path.
Actually not. I read my own book.
Where would you go to?
Because
I wanted to get something and then
Why are you here? I'm writing a thesis at the moment, a master thesis.